I hope you had a great day trading today and you were very successful. As always, I'm going to be going over the S&P 500 E-mini futures for today, Wednesday, September 3rd. I'm going to try to make today pretty quick. I don't have a lot of time. I'm sorry it's a little later than usual, but hopefully you guys can get some good knowledge out of this. Before I get going, as always, huge shout out to Troy H. Um, my mentor. If it wasn't him, I wouldn't be trading. And the purple lines are the previous day high and previous day low, and the orange lines are the pre-market high and pre-market low, or the Globex low, Globex high. Quite interesting day today. I thought it was a pretty hard day to trade. Kind of wake up, or kind of open into very trading range behavior. Some doji bars, kind of sporadic bars all over the place. Long wicks. Nothing really super clear. You can see there's kind of a couple pushes down for the bears within here, but nothing very breakout mode-ish. So you have one pullback, two kind of down to the EMA trying to test it, but then you quickly get a reversal up with three pushes. I thought a quick trade in here, if you wanted to look at this as all a trading range. And maybe 13 was breaking out of the trading range, maybe trying to test the pre-market high, or you wanted to see it as one pullback, a second leg that needed to go a little bit higher. I thought after you saw the doji bar on 14, a lot of people bought the little that it did go down. I thought that it was a pretty safe trade with a small risk. You could you could have risked 3 to 5 points to make at its peak about you would have been able to make 10 points on bar 20, or at least a solid 8 or 9. So I thought that was a pretty decent trade, but you would say that's trading a third leg, so it's a little risky. I think up here, once you kind of see this reset to the leg count, you probably could have sold 21 with this micro gap closing, thinking that it would probably try to test back down to the EMA, which it does. So you could have made a quick 5 points there. You could have even sat through, maybe thinking it was going to break through the EMA with your risk move up to zero, and you could have made a good, 10 to 15 points there as well. Then it kind of dips down beneath, and it kind of goes into kind of trading range behavior. I feel like maybe a little bit with the bears taking over. Definitely with this big push down, you would think that it would get a second leg, which it ends up getting. You could say this is one, pull back two, two pushes up, three, maybe a push, maybe a final. It's kind of just goes into uh, a broad bear channel or bear trend, creating lower lows beneath the EMA. But you see all these closes, they can't really get beneath the EMA. You can kind of sell anything that goes above. Um, I thought 38 was a pretty decent trade. You could say that this probably resets the leg count. You get a good micro gap. You could have sold that for about 5 points. You get a good reversal here all the way up. I probably wouldn't have wanted to trade against the trend here, but you can just see it's pushing down. Finally gets a good break above the EMA, but I've talked about it before. Most of the time, I think 75 or greater. It actually might be a little lower of a percentage than that. When the first time, after so many bars beneath the EMA, the first time it crosses the moving average, it usually rejects and goes back down. So you could have known that in mind, and after seeing 46 very climactic, and then 47 close with a great micro gap, I think you could have sold that, kind of stayed in the pocket for a little while, and been able to get, about 10 points. I think also it's interesting on the 15-minute chart. Um, you could have been looking, maybe where is it? Okay, going back to this trade, I think back over here. Um, yes, this is a good micro gap trade, but sorry, I got to backtrack a little bit. But as you can see on the 15-minute chart, you get a good push down. Then you get two bars sideways to up. And I think once you see, on five, the good micro gap on 38, you could have also been looking at the 15-minute chart, been able to sell that bar down to the EMA for those 5 points there. So I just wanted to clarify. Um, you not only have a microgap breakout here, but you also have, the context in the 15-minute chart thinking that it'll probably try to test the moving average, definitely trying, kind of looking like it's in a bear trend. So I thought that was very interesting. But going back to this, first time getting a good cross above the EMA, 46 is clearly a give up bar. Bear flag, first time crossing the EMA and a lot of bars. You could have sold the close of 47 with a very low risk trade, and you would have been able to make at least 10 points if you stuck in there. You could have even have made, 18 to 17 points if you just um, stuck in the trade and looked for the best possible price to get out, I think. You could have maybe gotten out on bar 52 once you saw how climactic it was, coming back up and gotten out for, at least 12, 10 points, maybe even 15. So after this break of the EMA and then the collapse back down, you get another two pushes down. You get one, pull back two, but not the greatest bars. 52 is pretty climactic, so I wouldn't want to be selling down here. Um, then it's just kind of trading range behavior, lots of very doji bars, nothing you want to touch. And then usually it's not the best thing to trade the best 30 minutes of the day, but I think um, this is the second time, or it's tried to test. It's gotten one close above the EMA. It finally gets a great close above the EMA, and look at 73. You have a massive micro gap, a bar closing on or near, basically on its high. I think that's about 99, 100 IBS with a massive micro gap closing above the EMA. You could have easily taken a low risk buy here with a quick stop at 5 points if it just reversed back down to the EMA, and you could have caught this absolute bomb that goes up, at least could have made at least 20 points if even if you thought it was starting to end. But these micro gaps just don't lie, and I think you could have scalped up for the best trade of the day kind of at the end of the day for about 20 points. Well, yeah, that's my very quick analysis of today and the trades I thought were the best. I thought it was a difficult day to trade today, so don't beat yourself up if you didn't make money, or if you did make money, great job. Please leave any questions, comments, concerns down below, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video. As always, thank you guys for tuning in, and yeah, I huge shout out to Troy H, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.